Good evening. In this episode, we will talk about cybersecurity and how we can do our part in creating honesty and security in the online space. Welcome to BCBP Alabang Mission Go Live Season 3. Be Honest with Coach, Episode 6. Yes, I'm Coach Anthony Lozada, and tonight we have a very interesting hot topic, cybersecurity. In this episode, we will talk about how we can get protected from hacking, privacy attacks, and other online threats. Our hope is to share preventive and safety tips for online users. Tonight, we have three gentlemen joining us who may help increase our awareness in this topic and possibly give us insights on the impact of living in this online space and perhaps honestly share their views on hacking, data privacy, and security of information in the online space. Before we dive into the discussion, let me say hello to all our brothers and sisters watching us live and on replay, to all BCBP Alabang chapter members and other BCBP community members out there, all our family and friends. Good evening and thank you for joining us for episode 6. And again, as you chime into the discussion, live and on replay, please type in your insights, comments, and questions because we'd like to hear from you too. This Go Live online series is one way we continue to live out our BCB mission of bringing Christ to the marketplace and winning the marketplace for Christ. Our discussions this season are anchored on the BCBP Be Honest advocacy. Be honest even if others are not, even if others will not, and even if others cannot. Now, I would like to ask our guest panel to join me in this broadcast. There you go. All right. Okay, bros, good evening. Good evening. Thank you for being here and
Good
for
evening,
willingly
bros.
serving the Lord through this Mission Go Live episode. May I ask you to start by introducing yourself? Tell our viewers about your profession, your BCBP membership and service, if you have one, and something about your family as well. Alex, please start the ball rolling.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Hello, everyone. Alex Basa here. I have been a member of BCBP for, I think, for almost 3 years now. And I'm currently married and I have a son and a daughter on the way. And well, for starters, I am a cybersecurity ethical hacker, mainly a red team member for an auditing firm. Grip?
Right, thank you, Alex. Good evening, everyone. So my name is Bueta. I am married to my lovely wife, Berna, and we have 2 kids. I've been a member of BCBP since 2018, and I currently serve as our Alabang chapter's breakfast head and also serve out in our intercessory ministry. And I am a lawyer by profession. I specialize in environment, climate, and sustainability law. But that doesn't mean that this information and these online problems that we have is not an issue for me. So, as a lawyer, I'm also a member of an individual convener of the movement against disinformation. So more about that later. Thank you
Yan.
again, and Tito Dan, over to you.
Danny.
Right. Okay. So they called me Tito Dan. I guess it's a giveaway for age, right? So anyway, I've been a member of the BCBP for 30 years, 30.
Wow.
I've been in my profession. I'm in the IT BPO space for about 40 years. So the difference is 10, no? So and in the past 5 years, I've been engaged in AI, machine learning, cybersecurity, anything that will sell. So that's where I am. So anyway, thank you.
All right, all right. Again, bros, thank you for all of you for being here. To start with our discussion, we live in a world where everyone has smartphones, di ba? Facebook accounts, and has easy access to information anywhere and anytime. The always online status and the norm of online transactions with just one click has become our way of life. and everyone and everything can be searched on Google. In fact, Google able has become an adjective we use in a sentence. Are you Google able? So today, privacy online has become more challenging than ever to attain. To any of our panelists, what is your rule of thumb ba when it comes to your own online protocol for safety and security of information, like in your social media accounts, Facebook, etc.? Any of our panelists can answer this.
Siguro, coach, I can start, no? Kasi
Sige.
I'm the one outside of the the IT industry.
Go, go, go.
Actually, ever since, and as most of my friends will know, I'm not on social media. Uh, Siguro out of ano na rin yung walang time, but mostly because of yung security and privacy issues that were being raised before, ano, on by being on social media. Wala naman akong tinataguan. Hindi naman sa ganun. But I guess yung through the years and siguro 15-20 years ago, 'di ba, nagsa-start yung mga social media sa mga chat rooms, ganyan, and doon pa lang you can already see the challenges, 'di ba, yung vulnerability mo. And now now more than ever, 'di ba? So I think yun yung isa. Choosing, I think, well, my point being choosing where you expose yourself online. So whether through social media, how you communicate also with people. I mean, pinipili ko rin yung mga messaging apps or yung mga platforms where I engage with people, especially on sensitive matters. Yun,
Wow.
that's
How
my
about
I
take.
how
agree
about
with Grip.
ano? Yeah, sige.
Actually,
Alex.
for me, I started out as, teenager. Talagang post dito, post doon, and share dito, doon, check-in dito, check-in doon. And little did I know that I was exposing myself to everyone in the internet, and that causes several potential issues. Like they can track me where I am, where I did go, where I spent my money, like that. And infos like that are very crucial to several attackers. You never know what kind of attack will they do with the info they got from you. And you know, uh, usually our first step in social engineering, we usually check out people's social media accounts if they are working here, what is their position. And social media is a very rich information filled area that everyone can take advantage of. It depends on the user on how they can protect themselves on the World Wide Web. And along with this, I understand that social media has many very viable advantages, and just keep in mind that every it also has many disadvantages, such as posting sensitive information about you and being accessible to almost everyone.
Yun. Alex, I
How
have a
about you,
follow-up
Tito Danny?
question. Kanina,
Sure.
was Tito Danny. Tito Danny, you want to share something?
Uh, okay. So anyway, the with the situation that we face, no, I kind of disagree. Well, if you want to be really safe, avoidance is one of the things that you do, right? As Grip said, he doesn't have any social presence. But if you want to compare that, that's like living in a cave, especially now these days, right? Uh, Everything's happening, but you don't want to be part of it. I don't, well, it might work for some, but in general, that's not really how behavior should be. Um, if I was going to compare being in the digital or online environment, it's like saying, personally, okay, as you said, rule of thumb. No, personally, I compare being in the online environment as in going visiting to another country, right? And before you go to another country, what you do is to see what are the normal behavior. In traveling, you normally have safety in mind. You actually have protocols or the normal behavior that you follow. And similarly, if you look at what safety is, safety, if you Google, right? The word is Google.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But before, inabot ko kasi is Yahoo, no? But it doesn't make, if you Yahoo it, di ba? If you Yahoo it, so I have a warning that I don't have batteries anymore. So, but if you Google it, safety comes with the word responsibility. And it's no different on the online space. So what I'm saying is, if you expose yourself recklessly in an online environment, then you're courting danger. If you click
Mm-hmm.
on an untrusted sender or a link that you don't know, if you actually post that you have millions of pesos or dollars, then you're actually exposing yourself to threats or to probably risk. So there are behaviors that you need to actually know or to follow, whether it's physical, face to face, or the online environment.
Parang Tito
So
Danny,
it's
you're saying if you
responsibility.
visit, yeah, if you visit a country, you have to know how to keep yourself safe there. Parang,
Yeah,
di ba,
yeah, yeah.
in
It's a
Paris, there
personal.
are pickpockets and
Yeah, it's a personal responsibility, right? Uh, I was asked, is Manila safe by somebody from New York? I said, well, if you go out 2 a.m., if you go to Makati Avenue where there's the red light district, then it's not safe. So if I go to, let's say, 52nd Street in New York, that was when it was still active at 2 a.m. Am I safe? So technically, it really depends on the individual.
mhm. Oo nga naman. Yeah, 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 you're right there. Now, Alex, I was listening to your introduction a while ago. You mentioned about red team. Ano ba yung red team na yan? Para bang SEAL Team 6 yan? Kasi it's all about protection, and then I've been hearing yung mga offense, defense teams. Nasaan ba yung red team na yan? Ano bang team ka?
That's a good question, Coach. Actually, uh, in the cybersecurity, we mainly have three teams, which is the red team, the offensive side, the blue team, which is the defensive side, and the purple team, which is a mix of both. Now, for the red team, usually focuses on simulating the attacks that hackers usually do. Our objective is to improve an enterprise cybersecurity by demonstrating the impacts of a successful attack and by demonstrating what works for the defenders. Siguro in a nutshell, we simulate the attacks to help them improve their defenses against real-life attacks that they may encounter along the way. And along with it, improve their cybersecurity posture.
Yun, ganun pala. So
Ayun.
does that work also for individuals like us, yung mga or only for big corporations? Meron ba kaming offense diyan para makaganti sa mga hackers or what?
Actually, hacking is, makikita mo na siya sa web. You can teach yourself in, in the basics of hacking just by searching in Google. Google able
Hmm.
siya.
Okay, ayan na,
So,
Google able, yan na nga.
as an individual, yes, you can educate yourself in the basics of hacking and ano. So, siguro since sinabi ko na rin na Google able siya, being an ethical hacker, usually like what Grandpa Ben of Spider-Man once said, with great power comes with great responsibility. So always be responsible for your actions.
Mamaya babalikan ko yung ethical hacker na yan. Meron palang ethical hacker. Anyway, so Grip, may na-mention ka kanina, exposing yourself, di ba? Exposing yourself online. Lahat na talaga exposed. So how do we know which is a bad way to expose yourself except yung answering yung posting your address, your cell phone number. How do we prevent ito for our viewers out there? How do we prevent yung exposing ourselves too much? Yung mga searches ba natin sa Facebook, is that compromising our safety? I know yung posting your mga account numbers, yan, delikado yan. So paano ba, Grip?
Thank you, Coach. Going back to yung sinabi ni Tito Dan kanina, I think it's a personal, ano nga, no? It's our personal responsibility is a big thing, eh. Um, of course, I mean, ikaw din yung, you're the one who chooses what you put online, what you put out there in the space, in the online space. Like what you said, Coach, sabi niyo nga, you wouldn't, I mean, no person in their right mind would put their bank account details or their sensitive personal information online, easily accessible. So, um, I think yun yung one, being, I think the first step is uh, being aware of the threat. I think yung like listening to shows like this, yung discussion natin, yung mga sinasabi ni Alex, first time ko nadidinig na may mga ganun pala, no? Di ba nga nung in one of
Yung
our
mga offense
conversations,
defense.
tinatanong ko si Alex, hinahack mo na ba kami habang nag-uusap tayo dito? Baka pala ganun, di ba? So, and mas nakakaano pala because it's all online, di ba? All that information is online. Googleable nga, Googleable. So I think yun, knowing and acknowledging that there's a threat and being careful with the information you put out there are important first steps to protect yourself. And I think also na yun din yung uh, choosing the forum or the platforms where you engage online is important. Kasi ako even for myself, even if I'm not on social media, I can still see may mga articles ako or may mga, I mean, things still do get published, eh. So, yun din. I mean, kailangan din titingnan mo rin where you post or put up that content.
Sa bagay, Grip, ang hindi mo lang naman nakikita kasi wala kang Facebook kung saan nagpupunta yung relatives mo o kung meron ng milestone na hole-in-one yung barkada mo noon. Yun lang
Yeah,
naman
yeah.
yata, di ba?
Yun din, syempre yung those are the advantages of Facebook and social media, 'di ba? Lalo na I think for generation namin ni Alex, ka-generation naman kita, Alex, 'di ba?
Ah,
Magka
same
hindi naman
generation.
older bracket lang ako ng generation. But 'di ba yung naabutan pa yung time na wala namang mga social media. But it allowed to reconnect with yung mga old friends, grade school, high school classmates, 'di ba? So maraming benefit, especially for the older generation. So yeah.
Actually, I've heard, no, siguro si Alex or si Tito Danny can comment on this. I have friends who really don't post yung the time that they're abroad. Hindi sila nagpo-post, nothing. It's when they come back. Kasi parang sinasabi nila, we don't want our people who might take advantage to know that we're not in the country, that we're out, and with us is our relatives or my brother, my sister. Is that also a good way of protecting yourself? Is there any logic to it?
Actually, any information that you can withhold sharing is a good way to protect yourself. Like just especially telling us where you are is a big goes a long way in protecting yourself.
Talaga?
Kasi ang daming bagay na pwedeng gawin. Hindi natin we cannot tell how a person thinks. So you can only imagine how many ways they can take advantage of the information that you have. So kung
Mhm,
isipin
mhm.
mo sa isang table and you're holding all your cards close to your chest, I think you have more chances of winning that way because you are not sharing any information about you or your cards or your hand, diba?
Or your hand, yeah. Oo.
Mm.
Pero Alex, I'm sure you know more a lot these hackers kasi may defense, may offense. What's really their modus other than stealing information and then probably creating a new credit card that they can use? How does their mind work ba? What do they watch out for? Para to tell our viewers na ito pala, you have to avoid sharing this or posting this.
Well, for starters, hackers take data and information as a treasure trove. Doon sa data na nakukuha nyo, for example, your birthday, simple as
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Yung mga ganyan. Sige, ano
Yeah.
pa? Ano mga...
For example, I got your birthday, coach, and you use your birthday in password. let's say your bank account, your password was your birthday. So as an attacker, I can try to brute force. By brute force, I mean just randomly try guessing passwords, since uh, people has a tendency to use passwords that can be easily rememberable, like uh,
Yes.
your birthdays, your anniversary date, if
Pwedeng question yan, di
uh,
ba? Pag nag-retrieve
yes,
ka ng password.
and yes, yun, yung sa security questions at most, kasi yun yung mga common na security questions na tinatanong. What was your first dog's name? Let's say I found out your first dog's name was, let's say, Bruno. Then I guessed your first pet's name and I recovered your account using that way. So in that particular moment, yung small info na na-share mo na ang pangalan ng first name mo is si Bruno, I got your account that way. So, information talaga ang habol ni hacker.
Ako
Any
paano
ay,
Alex, marami nagpo-post na, oh, happy birthday! Tapos syempre, alam nila, you're 59 years old. Di pwede mo nang i-backtrack yun. Birthday niya ngayon, ito yung date ngayon, this 59, di yung year. Tapos anniversary, pwede rin gano'n, happy anniversary. They
yes.
post it on kasalanan din siguro ng Facebook kasi lalabas ng Facebook pag birthday mo, di ba? In Viber. So how's that? Delikado kaya pala si Grip, no?
So sa side naman natin, our best way to protect ourselves dun sa mga common we usually advise people that you should not use passwords related to you. You should include a random mix of capital, lowercase, exclamation point, symbols to your password, para kahit mahulaan nila yung, let's say, yung birthday mo, pero nilagyan mo siya ng exclamation point, yung 3 ginawa mong A, ganun. Yung A ginawa mong at sign, hindi siya ganun kadaling mahuhulaan, kasi hindi lang simple sentence yung nilagay mo sa password mo. Actually, I was browsing the net. Meron kang mapupuntahang website na pwede mong i-try, mag-try ka ng password na gusto mong
Mhm.
gamitin, and
Mhm.
i-guess niya kung gaano katagal mabu-brute force ng isang attacker yung password na nilagay mo. And usually yung mga common string messages like let's say password lang yung password mo.
Mhm.
2 days mabu-brute force niya na. Kasi sa mga ganong attacks, meron kaming ginagamit na dictionary. The dictionary is like a collection of passwords, parang kinompile sa isang file, and papatakbuhin lang namin siya and iiwan lang namin siya. Ta-try niya na yung password mo, isa-isa dun sa laman ng dictionary. So
Yun.
ayun,
Yung
always
pala.
use uncommon passwords.
Sana, 'di ba, minsan may gagawa ka ng password tapos yung site mismo magsasabi sa kung strong yung password mo or hindi. Is
Yes.
that a good indicator? Can we rely on that? Yung mga
Yes.
ganun na strong, 'di ba?
Well, usually yung mga ganong nagde-depend kasi sila dun sa sinet nilang password Pero ang common baseline natin with passwords is you should have at least one capital, one lowercase, one symbol, and one numerical. Yun yung parang pinaka-baseline na standard na pinaka-okay na password.
Oh, again.
One
Pakiulit.
one capital case letter, one
One capital.
lowercase, one
Okay.
numerical value, and one symbol. Yan.
Yun. So kailangan lahat yun present sa password mo
Oo.
para maging
Either
strong siya.
mix-mix mo siya, basta nandun siya sa password mo and magiging na siya.
All right. Galing. Thank you, Alex. Oh, we have a question from Bobit. Good evening, Bobit. Question for Tito Danny. Nako, Tito Danny. Naabangan ka pala ni Bobit. When you meet with business executives about cyber and data security measures, what is their level of understanding of the issue and what are some misconceptions? Yan. From Bobit yan, ha? Tito Danny. Danny. Kasi
Yeah,
yeah.
my
Okay.
think, okay. There's no
Mukhang naglalag
general
si...
is knowledge of the topic, but in general, most of the a lot of the people that I meet know that they need data privacy. Question is, how much do I want to spend in implementing the proper security measures that are needed to business. And it's always a balancing act, right? Uh, I think one of the things that people need to understand, for me, I have a 90%. I believe, personally, I believe that 90 I will get. It's a question of when, which I tell most of the people I talk to. You most likely will be hacked, or you probably have been hacked. The degree or the severity of the hacking, in terms of if I will probably gauge the knowledge level of the executives in terms of cybersecurity and data privacy, I would probably say about a good 70-80% in terms of data privacy, and depends also on the sector. If you're in the sector of if you're in the business of online, if you engage in e-commerce, high degree in data privacy. You know, when we were, I'll just throw in something, no, when we were starting, because we did the data privacy practice, people about the data privacy law. One of the things that caught their attention is that you can actually throw the executive in jail. Data privacy laws is in the Philippines. So the board, even the CEO and the chairman can actually be thrown in jail. So, but I guess to a certain extent, it's not there, but it's getting there.
Okay. So, Grip, mukhang may na-mention na land in jail. Mukhang may legal issues dito. Attorney Bueta, what are your thoughts on this?
No, I think it just emphasizes the ano the gravity of the responsibility ng mga corporations for securing data. Normally kasi well, if you talk about yung corporations, 'di ba? Unless may malicious involvement or may malicious intent yung corporate executive, hindi nagiging personally liable sila. But yung corporation lang nagiging liable for any violation or any crime. But given nga itong mga the nature, yung extent of the threat on privacy concerns, mga privacy issues ng mga not just ng corporations but ng individuals. It adds that level of responsibility for even the corporate officers, and they can be held personally liable, and yeah, they can go to jail for that. And I think it just goes to show that the level of care and diligence which data handlers, yung mga nag-handle ng information natin, should be careful dun sa nakukuha nila na data from us. Lalo na, I think over the last 2 years, diba, tumaas yung digital transactions, yung mga nag-e-commerce. So, more and more of these apps, e-commerce companies, mga online stores, actually have your personal information and also your sensitive financial information. So, yung Data Privacy Act natin tells them that when you handle that kind of information, you have to exercise extra care and diligence in making sure na hindi magagamit sa mali. Like what si Alex was saying kanina, 'di ba, na ang dami. I mean, ang daling matuto how to do it, and then may pwedeng yung through brute force, 'di ba? Baga-ano ka ng mga passwords and all that. So, yeah, I think yun yung isang added responsibility under our Data Privacy Act. And
May
10
case
years
ka
na yata, if I'm not mistaken, 10 years old na this year yung Data Privacy Act natin, 'di ba? Pero parang maybe for executives, yung mga nasa corporations and e-commerce companies, familiar sila. But I
Yeah,
think a lot of people
the
are not,
data,
diba?
the
Yes,
data
Yes,
Kuya.
Atty.
privacy act, the Data Privacy Act came into law. It's actually called DPA 2012. So 10 years. So 2012 yun.
May na-handle ka na ba, Grip, na case related to that Data Privacy Act na was successful in regards to conviction and whatever?
Well, as I said, coach, it's not my line kasi I'm an envy lawyer ako. But within the movement against disinformation, we have seen an increase ng mga complaints against privacy, yung
Mhm.
breach of yung Data Privacy Act provisions. And the threat online for many organizations, many people, the threat online translates already to real world threats, kasi nagiging dahil expose yung personal information nila, then they already get physical death threats na to their families, to their, kasi nalaman kung doon sila nakatira, di ba? So kaya nagiging uh, yun nga, yung it's not anymore na nanakawan ka lang online, or you were what you call this, you were maligned online because of some post or but when it comes to yung ganyang sensitive information, for some people it becomes a very real threat already. Kaya we should be more careful. Not, I mean, now we're talking about being careful, but I think it reflects yung lack of natin din, yung probably care of society when it comes to handling information, when it comes to being truthful about what we share. Yan.
Okay, thank you, Grip. Yeah, it's really hard, Kasi nga, yun nga, yung exposure natin, and most often we cannot live without yung social media, kasi it connects us, and it keeps us updated on what's out there, not only with regards to business but family affairs as well. Now, Alex, punta ako sa iyo. Yung na-mention mo na ethical hacker. Ano ba yung may classifications ba ng hackers na yan, and what do they mean, like an ethical hacker?
Well, for starters, ethical hacking is the process where a hacker uses his hacking skills to help a person or uh, corporate or company to help them see where are their lapses in their defenses. So in the hacking community, there are three types of hackers, which is the white hat hacker, the ethical hacker. These hackers are us, like we use our hacking skills to help people. And there's the black hat hacker, where, well, this is the hacker that uh
Yung kalaban ni Tito Danny.
yes, oo.
Yung mga black hackers
Kalaban
na
ni
yan, Tito
Tito
Danny.
Danny. Yes. Sila yung nagva-violate ng computer security for their own personal profit or out of malice. Like, let's say, may naka-trash talkan ka online or nakaaway ka sa Facebook comment section, and you didn't know he was very versed in hacking, and ginamit niya yung skills niya to get back to you. And ayun yung type of personal profit or out of malice na type of attack. And
Mhm.
lastly is yung gray hat. Etong gray hat naman is a mix of both din. Minsan white, minsan black. So, siguro pwede mo siyang i-compare kay Batman, vigilante, ganon.
Ang dami pala niyan. Dami pala niyan.
Actually,
Nako.
oo.
Coach, pwede ako magtanong kay Alex.
Go.
Alex, most of yung mga hackers ba, do they do it for money or out of fun lang, or in your experience siguro? Out of curiosity.
That's a good question, Grip. Actually, um, to answer your question, kasi hindi rin natin masabi yung mentality ng tao, pero most of the hackers usually uh, attack for firstly for personal gain, let's say money, or just out of pure malice na galit siya sa'yo and he wants to, alam mo yun, just get back to you.
Guguluhin ka
And
lang talaga.
mm, and ayun, meron din ang ginagawa nila, for example, they're trying to target a company, kinuha nila yung lahat ng data ni company and in-encrypt nila, in-store nila, then binato nila sa internet. Then, ang ginawa nila, so sila lang yung may susi para ma-decrypt mo yung ni company, yung data ni company. Humingi sila ng ransom kay company para ipakawalan yung data nila technically. So that's called
Oh,
ransomware. Yun
parang
yung
kay
humingi
Sony,
sila
parang
ng
gano'n, di ba?
parang hinostage nila yung data.
Hostage, yeah.
Bigyan nyo kami ng pera, babalik namin sa inyo to. Ganon. Then, ang usually na palakot nila, either magbayad kayo or i-release namin tong data sa public. So, doon nagkakaroon ng breach pagka na-release na yung data sa public. Actually, Grip, may question ako sa iyo. Regarding doon sa let's say corporation na ayan, tumama siya na siya ng ransomware and umabot sa point na ni-release yung data niya. So, na-release yung, let's say, yung personal info ng mga customers niya and everything else. Paano siya magiging liable? Like, kasi one time I read na parang nung nagkaroon ng attack dun sa certain na yon, certain nung natamaan na yon, ang ginawa nila is change nila yung terms of business nila to make the online personal loss na parang kasalanan ni consumer. So paano nagiging paano na held accountable yung ganong companies na nagmi-mishandle ng data natin?
Yeah. Siguro si Tito Dan can also chime into this.
Right.
Pero yun nga, I'll go back to what the Data Privacy Act says, that yung if you handle information, you have to take care of it. So if it falls into the wrong hands or because of your carelessness, because of your lack of yung sinasabi nga ni Tito Danny, nagtipid kayo, ayaw niyong mag-invest in security, cybersecurity, na hack kayo. So you can also be held liable for several provisions ng Data Privacy Act. Siguro Tito Dan, if you can baka from your experience
My signals actually very unstable now. Let me just a comment of Alex recently about the business actually passed the buck to the consumer. That is very recent, no? And it's not a small company who did that. So anyway, kind of funny thing. All hackers generally do it for personal gain. Sorry, Alex, even an ethical hacker is compensated for hacking. Diba? So it's
Yes.
still a personal. You call it personal
Time
gain.
spent niya yun eh.
Okay? Okay, so anyway, there's a, so let me handle lang one question. Is it true from AC? Are you at risk for identity if you don't have this? Okay, you don't need an online presence for identity theft. Um, it might be easier. It might just be easier for a thief to get if you have online presence. But not having an online presence does not actually spare you from identity theft. Okay, so that's one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually,
Going
identity
to hire
theft
a hacker
is
to attack, right? So this is with grip, no? But let me, if the intent is really to do harm, and if the person really was a dead fool, I think it's common sense that you're liable as well, right? You were the parang hiring a hitman, di ba? Kind of thing. Um,
Ito, Tito Danny, may magandang
And then,
question.
as far as the questions on the data, my 2 cents worth for data privacy is know your rights in data privacy. There are rights to the individual regarding your personal information. Give consent for somebody to use your personal information, then you have a case. The other important thing to know about data privacy is that you can always have your information from case. Okay? If you feel that they access your personal information without your consent, ask them to remove it. And that is within your right. Okay, then we inform where actually if there's a compromise. If let's say a site was compromised and your personal information was there, they need to inform you immediately. Okay? So personal
Okay.
information. And it's to the benefit of the individual if they know their rights.
Yun. Okay, Tito Danny, for a while, I'll cut you short. May magandang question kasi si Roland eh. Baka sa'yo to, Grip, kasi BTS sa body natin. Yung is it unlawful daw to attack yung mga hackers who are criminals, parang gano'n, di ba? Yan lang. You have to prove
Thank you,
first na.
Coach, and thank you, Roland, for the question. Of course, as a lawyer, I cannot aid in a crime. So I would have to say, you cannot take the law into your own hands. So sabi nga, I think I heard Tito Dan say kanina, 'di ba, na if you it's parang you'd be held liable also kasi parang crime na rin siya if you attack a hacker, So I don't think we have any provisions punishing that specifically or allowing it, because it will be parang
Vigilante.
parang ganun yung dating eh. But I would think the right thing to do would be to report it to the proper authorities and then let them be the ones to go after the hackers. But what I don't think yung ginagawa ni Alex, for example, is something like that, parang it's part of the yung cybersecurity infrastructure siguro ng mga companies, but but yung let's say to hire someone to baka maging ka nun, co-accused if you do that.
Accessory. Palagay ko dito
Accessory
si
to the
Alex,
crime.
maraming viewers natin na magko-contact sa iyo, Alex. Gusto nila yung red team. Ito may question tayo from our viewer, si Bernadette Hoven. Among the social media platforms and messaging apps, which ones have a relatively tight security system? Yan. Bato ko sa inyo. Anyone can answer. Gandang question.
Well,
The one they say
Tito Danny.
Dito Alex.
say
Ata.
Alex first.
Okay, Alex, go. Red
Siguro
team, go!
personal personal opinion lang. Social media platforms ang hirap kasi magbigay kasi hindi mo masasabi in the far future kung magkakaroon ba sila ng leak. So siguro you can look at kung ano yung nila, kung ano yung ginagawa nilang ways to protect your data. For example, let's say si Google, meron silang ina-update nila yung Chrome to inform you, 'di ba? Parang nagsisave ka ng passwords doon sa Chrome. Parang ini-inform ka nila pagka let's say yung password mo compromised na pala. Sabihin nila, one password of parang isang password mo is na-compromise na. You should change it immediately. May ganun ng ngayon si Chrome, and ayun, that's a game changer kasi na-heads up ka na uy, alam na yung password
Tagal
mo,
na pala.
palitan mo na. Oo,
Oo.
ganun. So for me, I think talagang yung nila, yung kung gaano sila nagpe-pay attention sa pagpo-protect ng data mo. And so far, I think I like gusto ko yung ginagawa ni Brave if ano kayo dun sa browser na yon. Actually yun na yung gamit ko ngayon and very tight siya sa security. Like may built-in siyang ad blockers, trackers and many more. Talagang yun.
Talagang defense, ha?
Mm.
Defense.
Alex, baka wala ka na mapuntahan nun pagka puro blogging.
Well,
Mag-check ka lang ng
yung
email,
mga
hindi na kaya.
mga certified na websites naman inaalaw niya. Pero pagka hindi kanya inalaw, ibig sabihin, suspicious yung site. Huwag mo pasukan.
Suspicious,
Sabihan ka niya.
yes. Oo.
Ayun.
Tito
Tito
Danny,
Danny, how about you?
Right. Can I answer this? What is the most secure
app. Messaging app or
none?
platform.
None.
Just, just be careful. Just be careful with what you post. Do not share very sensitive information. I have, not for anything. Anything from any social, any digital channel, anything, we can actually capture it. So that's why when the question was asked, I said I was thinking social that are able to capture. We're now even capturing TikTok now. So the minute a keyword that actually came from Bernadette, the minute we say that you post. So I said, so if you want to be safe, don't post sensitive information.
All right. Okay. What about yung incognito? Does that help prevent online threats or add to the security of information? Yung incognito? Anyone from our panel?
For me, I think incognito protects you more on viruses and malware. In data wise, capturing your data, I think requires more of your what do you call this? Permission. Kumbaga kung ano yung i-share mo. Siguro isipin nyo like ganito, hindi nila
Sige nga.
maka-capture yung data kung hindi mo ilalabas. Like Tito Danny said, if
Yeah.
very mindful kung ano yung sinishare mo sa net, kung ano yung nilalabas mong data, hindi nila maka-capture yun kung wala naman siya sa net. Ayun.
Yun ang
If
delikado.
I may add lang, no, to what I said, sorry, Alex. If I may add lang to what I say, no, it's not just what you post; it's what's about you. So this is just not to scare everybody, but it is kind of it's not just a personal, it's a shared responsibility. What you post, it's also what others post about you.
Yeah, kasi we can't avoid yung mga post ng birthdays, anniversaries, favorite pet, 'di ba? Minsan birthday nung pet. We post that. So,
I think the birthday was relatively harmless, though. But I like people to greet me on my birthday.
Siguro yun yung magiging downside pag di mo siya shinare, no? Hindi ka mababati.
Pati yung hackers nang babati din eh. May question si Chiu. How often should we be changing our passwords and is it not advisable to have the same password for all your social media accounts? Mahirap yatang i-track kasi kung sa dami tas iba-ibang password, you will have to write it down somewhere. Eh di ba sabi nila wag daw isusula. Paano yun? Anyone?
Siguro to answer yung mga taong talagang sobrang conscious sa security nila usually changes their password at 30 days, 1 month. And sa actually merong policy, hindi ano to, sa personal. Kumbaga sa parang mga companies, once na nag-change ka ng password, like meron kayong password history. For let's say, ang una kong password is password.1. Ngayon, 30 days ire-require ako mag-change ng password. Then dapat ang password ko is hindi password.1. Mapupunta siya sa password history and hindi ko na siya dapat mare-reuse ulit for at least like 90 days. Hindi mo na siya
Mhm,
magagamit.
mhm, mhm.
Ganon. Yes, it is not advisable to use the same password to all your social media accounts. Kasi pag na-compromise yung isa dyan, compromise na
Damay
lahat
na.
yan. Oo. Pwede na nila i-try lahat yan.
Ako,
Ayun.
coach,
Okay.
when I was working with an IO before, international organization, they would require na every 3 months, minimum yun na ipoprompt ka nila. You wouldn't be able to access the systems pag hindi ka nagpalit. Tapos may ganun nga, like si Alex was saying na alam niya if ginamit mo yung password na yun previously. So, kailangan iba-iba yung ano. And I think some mga payment platforms ngayon, mga bills payment, they do that also. No?
Mhm, mhm.
Na-notice ko na they regularly prompt you to change your password.
Mhm. Yun. So to all our viewers out there, ilagay nyo na dun sa reminder nyo yung nino-notify kayo na after every on the 30th, palit na ng password. Tapos iba-iba lahat. Pero paano ba yung ano? Kasi minsan pag nag-enter ako ng password, for example, yung sa Meralco online, may naglalabas na notification na save password. Para sa susunod, pag login mo doon, click mo na lang yung safe ba yung mga ganon? Or pati yun, nakukuha ng hacker yun? Nape-penetrate ng hacker yung mga ganun.
Yun yung ano, isang sinabi ko na feature ni Google Chrome na parang nagkakaroon siya ng password storage na actually ikaw lang yung may access nun. So, kapag na-access ng iba yung, let's say, yung Gmail account mo and doon nakasave yung mga passwords mo, delikado. So, ayun, hindi rin siya advisable na i-save yung password nyo doon sa mga password keeper. Siguro for ano, kung gusto nyo talaga gumamit ng ganong application, siguro you should research din dun sa mga application na nag-o-offer ng ganon and how secure are them. I'm not sure if advisable yung sinasabi ko pero kung kailangan nyo talagang gumamit kasi ako yun talaga minsan sa sobrang dami ng accounts ko hindi ko nakikip track lahat ng passwords ko and ayun manual yung password ano ko. So parang nakalagay somewhere, some hidden
May
somewhere deep.
black
Huwag mo na
book ka
sabihin,
ba?
baka
Black
masabi mo
book.
dito may mga hacker na na black team. Anyway, may isang question, yung what do you do pag naka-encounter ka ng ransomware? Is there a group that you can call? Dapat ba magbayad ka na lang or talaga bang ibibigay nila yung data mo? Baka hindi naman nila nakuha in the first place. Paano ba yun?
Ah, yun yung mahirap talagang sagutin kasi you will never know with hackers kasi let's say in a hostage situation, hawak nila lahat talaga. So, ang pinaka best talaga is hindi ka tamaan ng ransomware. Kasi once tamaan ka ng ransomware, you could say na kahit anong magiging outcome is lose situation for you. And
Oh.
that's very ano lang din, talagang nakakalungkot kasi yun yung ano, yun like pag nakuha na nila yung data mo, talo ka na. Gano'n.
Yun ang delikado.
Wala nang parang mahirap nang makakuha ng situation na mananalo ka. Pero in most cases, let's say, I'm not sure pero you can approach yung cybercrime division ni NBI.
Ng
Tama ba?
NBI. Oh, yeah. Kana tayo sa NBI. Ito naman, a question from Jerome. Since it is discouraged to use the same passwords in various apps, password managers have become popular. Yan, baka nakama-cross yun na yan. Any recommended password manager? Are freeware password manager safe? Okay ba yun? Have you
Yun
encountered?
yung term pala doon sa yung password managers. Like I said, yun talaga may mga taong kailangan ng password managers kasi ang hirap din i-keep track lahat. Siguro ayun nga, when you're choosing like parang namimili ka lang din ng magandang TV, magandang ref. You should always do your own review dun sa application na yon kung gaano siya ka-safe, gaano siya ka-reliable. And siguro personal quote lang sa buhay ko na there's nothing for free talaga. Let's say sinabi mong free yung password manager. Tingin ko may kinukuha sila sa to make it free. For example, let's say
May
isang social
kinukuha
media
sila sa'yo,
platform.
naku po.
Isang social media platform, sinasabi nila na free sila. Pero at the behind the curtain, kinukuha nila yung data mo, kino-compile nila, sinesend nila sa mga marketing advertisement.
Nagiging white team sila, ganun.
No, actually, ina-exploit nila yung viewing habits mo. Then i-share nila sa mga marketing na
no.
ito yung i-display na ad for you.
So it's not
Ganon.
really free. They're actually
Yes.
making money. So talagang mag-manual na lang tayo. Talagang balik na tayo sa paper and pen and keep it
Actually,
inside
ako,
our phone.
coach, aamin din ako,
Ayun.
manual din ako, parang si Alex eh. So, binilin ko nga kay Berna eh. Kung may mangyari sa akin, alam niya kung nasan yung ano na yun, yung listahan para to keep na, 'di ba? To be able to access all my emails, yung mga accounts. And I think especially for mga, 'di ba, mga seniors, yung mga I don't think they can mahirapan sila to use the password managers and 'di ba? So baka manual pa rin yung isang
Manual pa rin, kasi nga hindi mo nga masasabi kung
Pag mo lang
gagamitin.
lalagay sa wallet siguro, coach, baka kasi pag nawala yung wallet mo.
Ito may question si Ramon, maganda to. Ito ako muntik na din. Actually na-hack na din. Si Ramon, my FB got hacked recently. What's the first thing I should have done? What are the risks? What should I watch out for? Kasi yan, nako, rampant ngayon yan. Marami akong friends na I just got hacked. So any message from me, paano ba dapat yan? Anyone?
If I may, coach, a few months ago we had a discussion with Facebook through the movement against disinformation, and they do have channels wherein users can immediately report pag na-hack sila or if they need to take down yung accounts nila or to lock certain things. So I think yun yung isang immediate thing that we can do to report it to the social media company mismo. I know, alam ko Google, so syempre YouTube kasama ng Google, they have those channels also na if something happens you can report to them and then they can meron daw silang, hindi nila ni-reveal yung internal processes nila, but they do have internal processes to be able to try to help secure your account. And of course, the authorities again, sabi nga ni may cybercrime division tayo. Even the PNP may mga some larger police stations, may mga cyber team, may mga cybercrime units na rin ng Philippine National Police.
So magandang tip pala sa mga viewers natin will be to make sure they also have other than yung list nila ng PNP hotline, NBI hotline, dapat meron din silang list of where to report yung mga platforms that they're in, like yung Facebook, yung mga Instagram, di ba? Para at least they can immediately report it pag na-hack sila. Yun ang magandang prevention and defense. Yun. Okay. So, ganda ng and to all our viewers, you can click the link dun sa YouTube invite that we have links there that can help you with your concerns, and there's tips also on how to avoid itong cyber hacks and to be cyber secure. Pwede ba nating gamitin yung word na yun? Okay. So, any final thoughts to our viewers? Or Tito Danny, let's start with you. Any final thoughts? Kasi we're about to wrap up this very interesting episode. Tito Danny, go ahead.
As Grip pointed out, there are groups that you can report, let's say hacking or cybercrimes or data or breaches, Privacy Commission. And then, sa sa NBI, as you pointed out. So there are really groups that you can report it to. It's like actually losing your credit card. What do? You do your report, and then eventually you cancel the cards, right? The first thing you do is call and cancel the cards. So it's no different. I mean, one thing that I wanted to impart to everybody, it's just it's the world that we live in. So if you get scared in the world that we live in, it's kind of hard to live in this world, right? But again, I encourage behavior. We exercise what you need to do to be safe. That's all I can say. Now,
Okay.
in any time regarding passwords, pahabol na lang.
Sige,
Anytime they
go.
can ask you, anytime that somebody asks you for password, go for it. Go for biometrics rather than password alone. Even versus OTP, biometrics are more secure.
Biometrics. Ayan, viewers, biometrics daw. Okay,
The joke that
so
your wife might actually point your picture or get your thumbprint to open your phone.
I
okay.
actually agree with Tito Danny. Hindi kasing gano'n
Anda.
kadaling kunin yung thumbprint like yung minamasking tape lang tapos didikit na. Hindi siya gano'n.
Mission Impossible yata
Oo.
yun.
I agree with Tito Danny. And siguro, for my final thoughts, I agree with Tito Danny. Like, uh, it's not, hindi ka masyadong makakapag-enjoy if lagi kang takot. And siguro, we should consider, for me, I think I adapted na lahat ng ginagawa ko online, may consequences sa real world. And dun sa ano na yon, sa thought na yon, helps me decide if tama ba 'tong ginagawa ko or hindi. And ayun, always invest sa security. Nothing is too safe. And ayun, always be responsible sa lahat ng ginagawa mo sa web. Ayun. How about you, Grip?
Thanks, Alex. Thanks, Coach. Ako, I think what's yung takeaway dito is that aside from yung we have to be responsible for the information we put out on the web, we also have to be responsible digital citizens, na we should not condone yung mga masasamang behavior ng mga hackers. We should be careful when we post, repost, share information na hindi naman natin alam yung nanggagaling, kasi it's creating this online space which is some will say toxic, 'di ba? Kaya
Yeah,
sila
yeah.
umaatras.
Tama ka
But
dun.
like what Tito Danny said and si Alex said, this is our world now. I mean, we are in a digital world. So we just can't, yun nga, sabi nga Tito Dan kanina, hide in a cave, and 'di ba? If
Mhm.
this is our world now, we have to be responsible digital citizens. And yun din, aside from being careful, we also have to be careful with yung actions natin which may impact others. And kagaya ng sabi ko, sometimes yung actions natin can go beyond the digital world and already be a threat to people outside, to be real world threats already. Yun.
Yun.
Those are
Tama,
my
tama
2
nga doon,
cents.
Grip. Parang yung COVID, kung hindi ka lalabas ng bahay, it's still out there, but hindi ka lalabas, walang mangyayari sa'yo. It's just, you just have to protect yourself. And like what you said, there are pros and cons of what you do outside. So we have come to the end of this episode with so many stories and tips from our panelists. There's really so much more we can discuss on this topic. And for me, the call to action here is for all of us to be responsible, honest, and accountable online global citizens. The internet is a necessary evil of modern times. We definitely cannot live without it. Neither can we ignore the turpitudes that can come along with it. But the internet, for all its glory and opportunities, does unfortunately feature threats and challenges. These might manifest as online abuse, bullying, threats, impersonation, grooming harassments, or exposure to offensive and or violent content. All the do's and don'ts shared by our guests may seem tedious at first, but they are surefire ways of protecting one's privacy and ensuring that our children are protected too. With all kinds of technological advancements, it is important to be safe when online and also to teach the younger generation to handle their social media accounts responsibly. May the awareness from this episode help all of us in sharing and publishing data with integrity, adhering to data privacy and information security policies for our own safety and the safety of people within the online space. Let us be mindful about the realities of the world online and help create a more honest, peaceful, and safe space for ourselves, our family, co-workers, and communities. So again, I invite you to like, follow, and subscribe to BCBP Alabang on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Make sure you click on the bell for notifications. See you all again in the next episode of Be Honest with Coach. Mission Go Live, Go Live. Okay, so we're still live streaming Andito tayo sa back room and we can continue our discussions here and we were still live. So, ang ganda nung babalik na lang talaga tayo sa manual and ang ganda yung sinabi ni Tito Danny. Paano yung Tito Danny? Parang helmet sa bisikleta. May nabibiling tig pa 500, may nabibiling tig pa 4,000, pero ang pinag-uusapan diyan, pag pumalo yung ulo mo sa pavement, anong klaseng protection meron ka? Pag nag-crack ang utak mo, di wala na, di ba? So, paano ba ang range doon, Tito Danny? Yung services mo, baka merong interested dyan. Nakamute ba si Tito Danny? Tito Danny, we can't hear you. Baka nakamute. Wala pa din. While waiting for Tito Danny, baka may idea kayo, Grip, and Alex, how much ba yung I mean for those with businesses na yung kagaya niya Shopee or meron kayong clients. Kami sa Swim School, we also have our own database of the telephone numbers and the addresses of our students. So may alam ka ba on the range of prices diyan?
Prices wise, I think medyo wide kasi yung market and usually people opt to go for the kilalang brands like yung mga, let's say, wow, biglang na-blank yung utak ko biglang na
Red team,
siguro,
come on, activate.
Ayun, Tito Danny, may mabibigay ka
Tito
bang range
Danny,
of
baka meron
prices?
naka-mute yung yung microphone mo, Tito Danny. Baka you need to click on the microphone again. Sa BTS lang namin ni Grip Delegado mag-unmute. Ayan, sige nga, Tito Danny, can you try?
What is the question? Is it
Yung
what's the
price
range?
ranges nung kasi syempre you can't scrimp on security. Gaya nung iba, you're handling vital information of your client.
Right.
So,
So if you're just personal, the corporate, right? So corporate.
corporate, yeah.
I know of a company. I know of a company who budgets 200 million a year.
Wow.
There are some that budget's really extremely low, no? But I think fundamentally it's like you have to map out your business and see where you need protection. Hindi naman so you have to map it out. And you have to buy wisely, I would tell you honestly, like yung services ni Alex, yung okay? So that is not a cheap service. Okay? yung penetration testing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, it's really just a way, but for even for simple, everybody have you heard of firewalls? Okay. So
Firewall,
anyway,
yes.
firewalls is supposed to, di ba, sa firewall sa bahay. O yung firewall sa
Mm-hmm.
bahay, di ba, prevent sunog.
Yeah.
Ang firewall, you can get something for about 10,000 and you in the top of the so ganun ka wide range eh. That's why it's just very difficult. It's just a matter of you need to understand what degree of protection you need and then buy that adequate. The service of red teaming penetration testing that is required by law. So you need to avail of that, especially for the banks and financial institutions. Required by law. So, for the household, ako, ang yung mga routers, meron niyang intrusion protection, meron diyan yung versus malware, that should be, so, well, it's not good enough, but sufficient, adequate.
Ganda yung na-mention dito, Danny, yung sa router, intrusion protection. Meron ka ba nun? Grip, wala ka nga sa social media, baka wala ka namang...
Oo na lang ako para baka mamaya. Meron yun.
Meron. Tama. Oo nga pala. Oo nga, hindi natin alam kung merong black team na nagmo-monitor ng episode natin.
Naisip ko nga while listening to Alex and Tito Dan.
Yeah, but you know, yung what is the safest? What is the most secure? What is the most secure in social media?
Platform.
As I pointed out, based on the channels that we are able to access, there's none.
Oo nga, kasi it depends on nga the information that you put out there. Eh.
Oo, content. Worry about your content. So, yun. It's nice to answer some of them. Like, yun sa password manager, di ba? Yung question of the password manager. Para bang binago yung password, sabay nilagay mo sa notepad.
Mm-hmm. Oo, yun na lang. Yun ang pinakamaganda doon. Pinaka-safe doon. Wag lang liliparin yung notepad mo sa
diba?
Sa kalye.
Kaya nga, di ba? But one of the things in the personal information is encrypted. Okay? So, yung mga personal information, if they're complying with the data privacy Act, it has to be encrypted. Your protocol, pagka transmit. So, may mga safeguards naman na ang question lang dyan, that's why if you're looking at companies, whether, di ba? Yeah, it's very important if for credit card companies or credit card processors, they have to follow the security protocol for credit cards. SS, compliant. That's for credit card. Tapos yung sa healthcare, HIPAA naman. So may mga protocols, may mga sector. Kaya dapat hinahanap yun ng tao. 'Di ba? Pagka yung provider mo for healthcare, tapos hinihingi information mo, tingnan mo na muna kung HIPAA compliant.
Okay. So, let's I don't want to keep you up so late. Alam ko may mga pasok pa kayo bukas. Si Grip may presentation pa bukas sa BPS. So, thank you Tito Danny, thank you Grip, thank you Alex, thank you everyone. So, see you next time for Be Honest with Coach. Mission Go Live, Go Live. Ayan, okay.